Hello and welcome back to Awakening to Your Story TV, the place to learn, get inspired, and be supported with heart-centered ideas to improve your life. I'm your host, author, heart, and self-love enthusiast, Alicia Hartzell. Now I want to talk with you today about an idea that says that you are a receiver, open and ready for your next logical step forward. You are a conduit of divine energy designed to receive. A creator by nature, you are part of this ever-expanding experience. Your divinity and humanity are ready and open for inspired action. With every thought that you think, you have the ability to create your whole reality. And this is not a small thing. You have the power to feel your way back through your life as you build it, one thought at a time. When you own this fundamental truth that you're a receiver, you have source energy at your disposal, ready to flow right through your being. Ask and you shall receive. Well, as long as you stay open and ready, it is flowing right into your experience. And get this, in this creation process that we call life, you never have to have it all figured out at once. You are never asked to have all the details in order. And you will never have to do it alone. Source energy is always there ready to co-create with you. Now, the problem is that often we forget that we aren't alone, that we have this source energy, the divine, God, spirit, the universe. You can use whatever language really resonates with your soul. It is ever present and with you in everything that you do. You were never designed to create your life without that energy that makes worlds helping you along the way. When you forget this, fear can creep in. Fear holds your focus and it puts all sorts of conditions and limitations on what's possible. And if this is happening to you, don't worry, it's okay. There is power and opportunity in every moment of your experience. But I don't want you to get stuck believing thoughts that are aligned with fear. I want you to instead use them to find your way back to your truth. So here are a couple typical thoughts that you might be finding if fear is sneaking in and fogging up your path forward. I don't know what to do next. Fear is paralyzing me and I'm so afraid to move forward. I can't figure out how to get what I want. I don't want to make the wrong move. It feels like I'm failing and I don't know how to make it work. Okay, now none of these feel good when you think them, because it's never going to feel good to push or resist against your fundamental truth. Now, it's important to understand that thoughts like these are separate from who you are. Now, I get it. You may think them and they may feel very real to you in that moment, but they do not actually define who you are, and they sure as heck are not essential to you. Thoughts like these try to limit your truth and make you feel smaller and less than how you were designed to feel in your life. And it's for this reason that I like to call them out for what they are, limiting beliefs. Now, beliefs are a repetitive pattern of thinking. That's right. You have beliefs simply because you keep thinking them over and over and over again. Now, it's important to know that there are beliefs that are aligned with your truth, too. These are the ones that we're going to try to work on building up today. They really feel like they support you and fortify you in your life as you think them. When you focus on them, they get you feeling really enthusiastic about your life. And it almost feels as if you're plugged right into that source energy where anything is possible. Now, there are many ways to pick up limiting beliefs. People who are limited in their own beliefs, they may have tried to hand them down to you. They try to convince you of what your reality should be according to their limitation. And often in our uncertainty, we take it and believe that it's true. It can also happen when you have a situation that comes into your life with a lot of negative energy behind it. Or when you find yourself in a negatively repetitive experience, a limiting belief can easily be adopted. Now, no matter how you pick up these limiting beliefs, they always contradict your essential truth, and they never feel good as you think them. So what if you're tired of thinking thoughts that feel bad and you'd rather think thoughts that feel better to you? Well, get this. It is totally within your power. That's the great thing about beliefs, because they are simply thoughts that you think over and over and over again. You absolutely have the power to change them. Now, I like to call this process repatterning. There are endless ways of going about repatterning, but the important thing is to remember that it happens one thought and one feeling at a time. Your first job is to notice the negative thought that is causing you the discomfort. It's an indicator that you're out of alignment with your truth. So, call it out so that it can't be running in the background of your thinking on repeat. As you bring your conscious awareness to that thought, your next job is to stop believing what it's telling you. That's right, you can stop believing what it's telling you. When you do this, it slows down the momentum, energy, and emotion that it's been carrying with it. You were never meant to believe it anyway. You were always meant to use it to feel your way back to your truth. Now, once you have that limiting belief isolated, then you can see it for what it is, and you can start to make room for these new ideas and new thoughts to emerge. This is where you get curious and you try to find thoughts that feel more aligned with your truth. Let's say that you have a thought that keeps telling you that you don't know what to do next, and it's running on repeat in your mind. Well, what if you look at it and you try to take the limiting beliefs off of it? What might you have then? Maybe you could come up with a thought that takes some of that pressure off of it, like, I don't have to know what to do right now. You can take a breath, and then maybe with that little bit of relief, you can find a thought that says, wait a minute, I can ask for divine help. I am not alone as I create. Then that thought might actually lead you to a thought like, I am open and ready to receive inklings that will help me know my next logical step forward. Then you can get curious about your feelings and how that would feel. What would it feel like to know that your next logical step forward is waiting for you? How magical would it be to be the receiver of inspired thought that leads you to inspired action? Tap into those feelings and try to experience them in your moment now. Put your mind and energy there as much as possible. When you activate thoughts like these, it helps you create a deeper language for your desire and for your truth. It helps you keep your focus on where it is you want to be. This is why it's so valuable not to react or repress or even rebel from those limiting beliefs, but rather use them. When you stop taking directions from them and you get curious about them instead, you allow them to show you where your language is for your truth. From this place, you'll find yourself having a very different kind of experience. So let's call out some of these new patterns of thinking that are aligned with your truth. Okay. How about, I am open and ready to receive inspired thought that will help me take inspired action? What about, my next logical step forward will feel easy, like it was designed just for me? The details will sort themselves out, and I can focus on how I want to feel as I'm creating it moving forward. There are endless opportunities for me to create. I am supported, and the divine source energy is always working with me in my favor. Thoughts like these are more aligned with your truth, and there's a beautiful sense of freedom that comes with your truth. So get curious about your thoughts and about your feelings. Take a second or third look to make sure they're really the ones that you want to be experiencing. And remember, it all changes one thought and one feeling at a time. Okay, so now let's focus on some tools that are going to help you stay plugged into your truth. Intention setting has two super valuable jobs in your life. The first job is to consciously claim what it is you want. The second job is to actually help you check in with your thoughts, right? So I'm going to offer you one that really is good when you're working on this whole repatterning process, but I challenge you to find one that really fits for where you are in your own experience. I would start your day out with it and return to it as many times as you need to. So write it out and put it somewhere where it's easy to get to. Okay, here we go. My intention is to feel good, and I will use my thoughts to help me get there. Okay, another really helpful thing as you're repatterning your thoughts is to give yourself permission. Self-permission can feel like an open door that was once closed to you. It can also help you claim your power to do or not do what it is your heart really wants. So here's one that you can use, but again, I challenge you to come up with one that feels good for you in your moment. Okay, I give myself permission to be open and ready to receive inspired thought that will allow me to take inspired action. Feels pretty good, right? Okay, additional tools that I love as you're really building up those new patterns of thinking are to flood your mind with outside sources of those new thoughts, because an idle mind will always tend to go back to what it knows. So keep it moving down those new lines of thinking. Okay, you can do it with listening to a podcast that's focused on those thoughts that you're trying to align. You can watch a video of people who are inspired to feel and think those new thoughts. You can watch a movie that evoke those emotions that you're trying to align with your truth. You can write out those truths as many times as you can. It's the easiest and most effective way to do it. And then you can go back and read them out loud too. When you write things down, it helps your brain prioritize what it is you want to focus on. And when you're reading, it activates the mind in a similar way, but it also activates the imagination at the same time. So prioritize, set your imagination into action, but do it in the lines of your truth. You can always also tell an inner friend. Then you have someone to celebrate with as this all unfolds before you. Now remember, repatterning is all about changing your focus to support those new lines of thinking. It happens one thought and one feeling at a time. So watch your thoughts as they come in and choose the ones that incrementally feel better to you. These kinds of micro adjustments, they really give back your power. Wherever you're finding this video, I'm going to give you some of the previous episodes from Awakening to Your Story that might help you on this topic. There will be also a realigning and repatterning video that goes hand in hand with this episode. And if you have a more hands-on approach to learning, don't worry. You can go to awakeningtoyourstory.com and get the Awakening to Your Story book, handbook, or starter kit. Remember, you are a receiver, open and ready to take the next logical step forward. And until next time, know that I am holding a place of love for you, where your next inspired logical step forward is undeniable. For more support, information, and inspiration, join me at awakeningtoyourstory.com.